So the question is, how can you introduce your significant other to camping and to make sure that she loves it the way you do? Well, the most important thing is to make sure that the first night is not a bad experience and it's not uncomfortable and she does not feel like she's left on her own. This often happens. the the boyfriend or the husband takes his girlfriend or his wife camping. He goes to sleep. She hears every sound. She is scared to death. She has to go to the bathroom. She doesn't want to wake you up. She's afraid to wake you up. She holds it in, holds it in, holds it in. Finally, in the morning, she has not enjoyed any sleep. She is ready to bust. And she tells you, we got to go to the bathroom right now. You jump up. You try to put yourself together with your shorts and your shoes, and you're trying to get together. She's got to go so bad. And of course you do too. But she's ready to explode. And you look at her eyes and you could tell she has not slept a wink. So you get her to the restroom. You take care of your business. You both come out. She starts talking about going home almost immediately. What did you do wrong? Well, there's a number of things you did wrong. First thing, you're probably in a tent, which isn't a bad thing, but I'll tell you, there's something about a tent for a young lady to be introduced to camping. It's not a good idea. The best thing is in the back of a vehicle. If you have an SUV, you can lay the seats down and you can turn the back into a beautiful bed. It doesn't matter if it rains, it doesn't matter what. If it gets cold, you can just reach up and turn the heat on. There's so many things you can do. However, if you've got the right sleeping bags, you won't even need to turn on the heat. You've got two body heats together. You've got comfortable sleeping bags, comfortable pillows. Just please make sure it's comfortable. Please. For your own sake, if you enjoy camping and you want her to fall in love with it as well. So, let's say you're in the back of a van or you're in the back of a SUV. You have lots of cushions underneath you, padded surface. You have the sleeping bags all laid out. You've got nice pillows, really great pillows. All right, so first thing you tell your young lady is this. When you have to go to the restroom, wake me up and we're going to go over there together, okay? Because I'll probably have to go too. We'll both go, all right? But I will make sure I keep my ears on to make sure there's no problems. And if you like, even I can wait outside the ladies' room until you're done, and then I'll go. And then we'll come back to bed and we'll sleep the rest of the night or part of the night. She may have to go again. And if she does, you just love every second of it. You just pretend like you do not mind at all getting up with this beautiful woman. You're just happy to be with her. You're happy she's learning this experience of something different. And you are there to make sure that it's amazing. So the second time you get up with her, you go to the bathroom and you wait outside while she goes. And then you say to her again, if I gotta go, I'm gonna go real quick, I'll be right out. And you do. Okay. Come back. You do not at all make it look like or sound like this is you being pushed beyond or pushed into an uncomfortable situation. You are there to make this wonderful, and she knows it. In the morning, she's starting to think, oh, what am I supposed to do now? It's probably you say, baby, you just relax. Stay cuddled up. You get up, you stupid son of a, You get up and you get that fire going, okay? Now here's the best way to keep firewood. Push it underneath the vehicle, okay? Or push it underneath your picnic table, because what happens is at night, the dew falls from above. It doesn't come from the ground up, it comes from above. If you can keep the dew off the wood, you'll be able to start it up. So keep some, push it under the vehicle, push it under the picnic table. Some people bring a tarp, which is what I do. Put it over the top of the wood. So, and all of my starting materials. So I've got small branches, I've got paper, I've got leaves, I've got pine needles. If you want to start a fire quick and you're down south, dead palm fronds. They're like gasoline, okay? Be careful with them, because I'm telling you, they're like gasoline. So dead palm fronds will start a fire in no time, as long as you keep them dry. So gather some up the night before. If you don't have palm fronds, you use pine needles. They're the same way. They're like fuel. And that will help. Dead pine needles. Actually, green pine needles burn pretty good too, but dead pine needles burn a little better. And then you want very small twigs and very small reeds. You want them all crushed up to start the fire in the beginning, and then you're going to go bigger and bigger and bigger. Think this out in advance, because if you do not, you're going to ruin it. Not only for you and this young lady, but your future children. Because if her first experience with camping, she hates it, it's not going to happen again. So this is time for you to plan it all out in advance. Be willing to pretend that you don't mind putting yourself out for other people, and make sure that she has the time of her life. So while your wife is in there all snuggled up sleeping, guess what you're doing? You're firing up your Coleman stove. You're firing up the griddle, which means you've bought your gas canisters in advance. Yes, you thought ahead. And you've got whatever else you need, matches and whatnot. And now you make a nice, simple breakfast. You're just going to make some potatoes, fried potatoes with onions. If she doesn't like onions, don't use onions. You're going to bring some garlic salt. That's the perfect thing. Don't use too much. Don't use too little. Just make sure it's got some flavor. You're going to brown some sliced, diced tomatoes with some olive oil in a frying pan on your Coleman stove. Once it's cooked, you're going to put that aside. Now you're going to go to your bacon. You're going to make the bacon. Oh, yes. Make sure you know how she likes her bacon. Does she like it soft? Does she like it crunchy? Make sure you know. Okay, you're going to make that bacon. Now you get the bacon all cooked. You drain the fat. Get it out of there. You'll pour it into a container or something. Pour it on the ground, whatever you got to do. Now with that same pan, now that you cook the bacon, now you make the eggs. How does she like her eggs? You better know. If she doesn't like eggs, you better know. You better have something else in mind. If she doesn't like eggs, make her bagel with cream cheese. If she doesn't like that, then make sure you have some either some milk and some Cheerios or something like that to go along with her breakfast. But very often, if they don't like eggs, toast will do. So now you've got this beautiful breakfast cooked for her. And now you get her up. The fire's going. You've got your vehicle backed up very close to the fire, so when she just sits on the tailgate, her feet are already getting warm. And then you invite her over to the table, which is still not far away from the fire. Okay? And now you've got everything served and ready. Paper towels ready to go. You've got her. She doesn't have to worry about salt and pepper. She doesn't have to worry about forks and spoons. This is all stuff she's got to do at home, usually. unless you're a really great husband and you help out more than average at home. But she's got to know that when you go camping, you are the one that's going to make it all just right. Now, what happens is, once she sees the system and she learns it, you know as well as I do that she's going to want to take over and do it herself next time. Because as gallant and as valiant as your efforts were, she's 10 times better than you in the kitchen. And she may have suggestions, don't take them wrong. Just say, oh, okay, yeah, sure, whatever it takes to make sure that she's in next time, okay? She's probably going to have some great ideas. I know my girl did. And believe me, whenever she had an idea, I went with it because it was her idea. And she was going to implement it and make sure it worked. So we have a system now where after camping for many years, we both cook different things. In the morning, I might be working on the potatoes and the eggs, and she might be working on the bacon and the toast or the bagels. That's very, very important. So that is how you introduce your significant other to camping for the first time. It's so important. It is so important. If you screw it up the first time, you have ruined it for the rest of your life, or until you move on to the next woman. So, please, think about this in advance. Plan it out in advance. Think about what it takes to be a grown-up who's going to introduce somebody that knows very little or nothing about camping, and that you are going to make them love it, okay? Now, there's some more stuff. I've got other videos already out there about starting a fire for dummies and helping your children and even your teenagers to love camping. So look for those other videos as well.